Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, race fans, to the beautiful virtual Lernerville Speedway for round number 2 of Race Night in America. It's the Slingin Dirt Series, and it's live on the OuTPost Racing Network. My name, Mac Nelson. I'll be your lone voice in the booth here tonight, pushing all the buttons and making all the calls. When it comes to the calls up here, not entirely sure on who our race director and or race official is down below. A little bit of a cough setting in for me, ladies and gentlemen, so if you notice my overall volume being just a little lower here tonight, I'm gonna actually try to be a little smart, maybe conserve my voice like these drivers are gonna have to conserve their tires here tonight. Beautiful Lernerville Speedway. Remember, guys, 2 classes racing here tonight. Gonna be the Outlaw Street Stocks and the hooked up super late models. Opened in 1949, 4/10 of a mile is how long this dirt oval is. 4-degree banking in the turns with a 10-degree banking on the front stretch. Super late model 12.299 second time. That's going to go to Kyle Larson in 2021 Sprint Car Man. Sprint cars are just so fast. They nuke anytime. I mean, obviously, but it's just so cool to see how much of a difference it is when to carry Madsen in 2019 with a 10.602. Their next event, I'm almost positive that is supposed to say 2,000 to win. I have no idea why I dropped the other 2 zeros, but it is going to be way later in the year. I'm pretty sure that's correct, by the way. Seems very, very late in the year, but that's what I said. As for their schedule, there you see Jordan McLean hopping out of the session there. He has finished his laps. Going to be a 17.32, good enough for P3 for our feature race tonight. We look at the schedule. We are here at Lernerville Speedway, going to be 75 laps in the super late models. We are not doing 75 laps in the Outlaw Street Stocks here tonight. We're only going to be doing 25 of those. Nice little precursor for what we have coming up. Speaking of coming up, round number 3 coming at you July 24th. Remember, bi-weekly series here. We're not going to be live at your pleasure on your screen every single Friday. Going to be every other Friday. But we will be at Cedar Lake for round number 3. Round number 4 going to be at Volusia. Round 5 at Limaland. As we get a good look there at the number 110 of Chase Copeland, representing Midwest Sim Sports, but more importantly, Chase Copeland Academy, and he needs to enroll in his own academy. After what I just saw right there, we're going to take the camera off you Let's put it on someone way more qualified for it. Going to be Derek Darnell in the number 86. Big shout out to him and the Slinging Dirt Series team for sponsoring this Wednesday's Win Cash Wednesday purse. It was a almost full field. It was absolutely electric. A lot of cars out there. Made for a lot of cool memories, cool things happening. Mike Augustine gonna get the win in that one. But Derek Darnell, he is looking to be very, very fast here in our little warm-up before the feature. Gives these drivers a good chance to really see what they got, and what an incredible wrap we see there on the number 2 of Jeffrey Hyatt. He always comes with the heat when it comes to the livery game, and he has delivered once again. That is just class. And the street stock can have underratedly good liveries as well because of just the flat and square surface area. You don't see that on a lot of the body styles of dirt cars, so it's cool that you get that flat surface. It's a nice rectangle. You can get some really cool, really elaborate schemes going on. There's Nicholas McDougall in the 05. He raced with us here on the OuTPost Racing Network Wednesday night as well. Jordan McLean was there. Brandon Schatz was there as well. Tyler Bickford. Derek Darnell unfortunately had to miss it, but he was in the chat. He was watching. He was supporting. It was a fun race. Fun and good race to watch. As I apologize, guys. It seems the path, or it seems where I live, I should say, is the new path of just storming almost every single day in the month of July. It happened last year. It's happening again this year. We just cannot stop getting these storms. Although I don't think it will hinder anything, I feel I should give the precursor that if something does happen, probably safe to say you can blame it on the weather. Or the ISP. I mean, big shout out to Mediacom. They continue to you-know-what me over every single month with their very, very bad service here, but still, we proceed. Little under a minute left in the warm-up before we get into our feature race here for our little kickoff show. So it has kind of become the Outlaw Street Stocks. They always provide some nice, aggressive, real tone-setting racing. Really gets the fans hype for the hooked-up super late models that follows. Brandon Scott's going to have a little bit of a spin there. Old Shotsy in the number 34. And I think it's going to be fun, though. I think it's going to be fun to see these street stocks ripping around here at Lernerville. Lernerville is my probably favorite track. That and Eldora here on the iRacing official service. And I must say Lima Land as well. I was really in my head trying to come up with a way I could put Oswego in the top 3, but I just cannot do it. That 15 seconds of silence, and I still couldn't come up with anything. But it is time to go feature racing here for the Outlaw Street Stocks, ladies and gentlemen. So that can only mean one thing. It's time for your starting grid at pole. In the number 2, going to be Jeffrey Hyatt representing Midwest Sim Sports. P2 going to go to the 110 of Chase Copeland. He also represents Midwest Sim Sports. Jordan McLean in the number 5 is going to be sitting in P3 with Tyler Bickford in the 07. in P4. Nicholas McDougall and Derek Darnell are going to make up row number 3 with Brandon Schatz and Ricky Barfield rounding out your grid. Well, it is round 2 of 5. They head to Cedar Lake next week. We've already been over that. But I think it's worthy to note that these guys are going to have to go from Lernerville straight to Cedar Lake, which, in all honesty, they race in a very similar fashion. So maybe whoever finishes these races tonight on top might have a little bit of an advantage going into Cedar Lake. Make sure to sound off in the comments who you're rooting for in our Outlaw Street Stock race. Let's get him into the spotter booth and watch Jeffrey Hyatt take it down into turn number 1 to kick things off here at Lernerville. Chase Copeland leading the rest of the pack. But Jeffrey Hyatt, a very, very heroic, very titanic first lap. Tyler Bickford in the 07 is going to be fighting on that top side against Jordan McLean. Jordan McLean down 1 position currently. But we've still got a whole lot of racing here. Don't sleep on Nicholas McDougall. He's down on the bottom, trying to make something work, but when it's just so smooth on that top cushion. Chase Copeland's going to send it into the nether realm. Actually, he is going to be able to fish it back out. He is going to cast his reel and keep on going. Tyler Bickford in the 07, now in that Chase Copeland spot on that first lap. He has to keep all of the pack at bay. He's got to try to catch up to Jeffrey Hyatt as well. It's a very, very difficult job for him, but Nicholas McDougall and Jordan McLean fighting into turn number 3 is going to help him out a lot. Jordan McLean's ripping around that top side, trying to find that cushion, trying to plant the right rear. Nicholas McDougall, though, doing a very good job of trimming it short, making these corners as shallow as possible, taking the least distance around. But there's a fine line. You've got to keep the momentum up in these street stocks. They're so low powered. It's so detrimental to your lap times. If you catch yourself being bogged down, if you feel the power just starting to dwindle away, much like what happened to Nicholas McDougall right there, you could just tell. I mean, Jordan McLean just slingshotted in front of him. And that is the problem. That is the pressure that comes with running on that bottom line. The margin for error is a lot thicker. And even if you make just a simple mistake, it can really cost you. I mean, just look at Chase Copeland. He is still struggling to make anything work in this feature race after sending it off at turn number 4 just a few short laps ago. 16 laps to go now. The 05 of Nicholas McDougall going to be sitting in the 5 spot. He's got Copeland behind him. Jeffrey Hyatt is kind of cruising at this point. The lead for him sits at 1.3 seconds. And the lap times that Tyler Bickford is posting compared to Jeffrey Hyatt is just not going to be enough to really bridge this gap. Jeffrey Hyatt's got to have a huge mistake, or Tyler Bickford has to find a huge amount of pace. Either way, something is going to have to give, or else Jeffrey Hyatt is going to be seeing absolute payday. $25 going to the winner of this race. Oh, I apologize about that. Second place going to be getting $15. Third place going to be getting $10 in our hooked up super late model feature here tonight. First place going to be getting $50. Second place $25. Third place $15. Quick time getting paid out $10, as well as the hard charger getting paid out $10. So very, very cool here tonight. A lot of money to win across these two races. Chase Copeland just has not had a very successful day here at the office. 9 laps to go. He is going to be 7 seconds behind your leader. As, oh no, that's going to be a yellow flag out. As it looks like Jordan McLean had an absolute cruncher. Let's take a look. Oh no, we just couldn't quite hold it. Look at him up on 2 wheels there. That's crazy. Hard hit into the wall. Crowd not flinching a bit. Like when Kobe Bryant didn't flinch when, I think it was Matt Barnes, tried to throw the inbound in his face. Absolutely incredible. Rest in peace, Kobe Bean. Jeffrey Hyatt still going to be your leader. 6 laps to go. I imagine we'll be going single file restart. Tyler Bickford in the 07 going to be P2. Derek Darnell in the number 86. Going to be in P3. Nicholas McDougall in P4. Oh man, I am really going to need water here at the break. Oh my goodness. Jeffrey Hyde in that shiny, almost reminds me of Mountain Dew in a sense. But that livery, nonetheless, going to be shining so bright. And if things continue how they were, it looks like it might be payday for Hyatt. Around the top he goes. And he is going to be just head and shoulders above everyone here tonight. Very, very evident. We've got a 3-wide situation for P4 going on between McDougall, Schatz, and Copeland. Here comes Chase Copeland around the top. Ricky Barfield and Jordan McLean are also getting into it. In the back, putting on an absolute show. Ricky Barfield is going to hang on to it. We stay green. That's a good save, kid. Jordan McLean, same goes to him. He's going to barely keep it on the proper side of the racing surface here. Chase Copeland, you saw him ripping the top. He is going to get around Nicholas McDougall. And if things play well for him, he has a chance at competing for the podium. Jeffrey Hyatt is facing a lot more pressure now from Tyler Bickford than he did in any of the stages of the race previously. Tyler Bickford has found something pace-wise. Best lap is going to be better than Hyatt's. Last lap going to be better than Hyatt's as well. Down to the flag stand. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the flag man. And we have a yellow flag. It's going to be a green, white checkered. Looks like maybe Nicholas McDougal and Brandon Schatz got into it. Coming around turn 3 and 4. Yeah, that's tough. That one's a tough decision there, but what's not a tough decision is crowning Jeffrey Hyatt as the MVP of this race. He has been absolutely spectacular. All the way from start to finish. I believe it's going to be green, white, checkered this time around. As we are going to go one more time around. iRacing official pace truck just wasn't quite feeling it. Didn't feel like going in that time around. Wanted to strut one more time before we visit the hooked up super late model series. But we got to finish our outlaw race first. Jeffrey Hyatt has the button. He has had it all night. A little bit of a delay in Jeffrey Hyatt's start. Tyler Bickford going to take big advantage of that. That is... Well, if we're being honest, that's just going to be quite the blunder from Jeffrey Hyatt. I mean, that almost maybe confusion on the side of things. Tyler Bickford in the 07. Going to get it done on what was a last start. I don't really even know what to say. See, Jeffrey Hyatt, he started to go and then he just... There, he just had a little bit of a delay. He let his car set back up and... Wow, that is a strange one there. Tyler Bickford going to be your winner, and I believe we actually are standing by with him right now. Tyler Bickford in the 07. Mac up here in the booth, got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, hey, we'll take it, right? I'm not entirely sure what happened to Jeff. Do you have any knowledge as to what kind of happened there?
Yeah, he said he missed the gear or missed the shift right there on that last restart. Cause I mean, he got a really good jump on me. I was like, oh, this is the race. And then all of a sudden going down the straightaway, I'm on the inside of him. So, yeah, he told me he missed a shift or something, and it just ruined his momentum.
Oh, wow. Well, that is really, really sad to hear. Jeffrey Hyatt was having a fantastic race, but hey, you took the opportunity, and you're walking home paid. Does this give you any confidence heading into the hooked up super late models?
No. I mean, Jeffrey had me beat all race, so I feel slow right now, but nah, it should be all right. We've got a bunch of good guys running tonight, so it should be a good race. Should be fun regardless.
Yes, sir, it should be. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out or thanks to for the performance here tonight?
You for broadcasting as always. Best in the biz. We got Slingin Dirt. Always great racing with these guys. Midwest Sim Sports, CFM, Aces and Nate Designs. That'd be it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you, Tyler Bickford. Congrats on the win and good luck in the supers.
Thanks, man.
So good to hear from our race winner, Tyler Bickford there. And while we're switching things over, we are going to go to a break here very, very shortly. But when we come back, it's going to be same place, but On the opposite spectrum, when it comes to power, it's going to be the hooked up super late models. Part of the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America, live on the OuTPost Racing Network.
Can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and
my
to the
goodness.
line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Slinging Dirt Series Race Night in America here at Lernerville. It's been really, really fun so far. Glad you guys have been able to join us. Once again, big shout out to Slinging Dirt Series for choosing the OuTPost Racing Network to be their platform. Also, big shout out to RK Racing hopping on board, being so generous with the series as well. Beautiful, beautiful sights here at Lernerville. Track will be open shortly. I imagine we're about 10 minutes away from qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So, in all honesty, if you need to take a bathroom break, if you need to grab a snack, you need to tend to something, now is the time to do it. Drivers are getting loaded into the simulator, booting up, getting ready to get their first laps out on track here in these hooked up super late models. For the drivers that just did the Outlaw Street Stock race, it's going to be weird for a second hopping into these super late models. It's going to feel probably really, really bad, I'd imagine. for just a little bit. As we get a good look at the number 63 of Clifford Driscoll there. Chase Copeland in that red and white 110 for Midwest Sim Sports. Look for him to have a good race here tonight. He seems to be hooked up right now. We'll take a candid look at Jordan McLean in the number 5. There's Jeffrey Hyatt in a 76. Not the 66 you normally see him running. There's Tyler Bickford in the 07. I hope you guys are enjoying what I call the calm before the storm. You just take it all in. There's nothing quite like the ambiance of a racetrack. And so while we wait for the last few drivers to pile in here, get their laps submitted before we head into qualifying. That was beautiful to listen to, am I right, fellas? Well, that's about as unlucky as it gets. You go for two candid onboard shots, and they both send it into the Shadow Realm. Got about 2 minutes until qualifying time. Here in the hooked up super late model series, we've got 15 late models here in the pits tonight. Aiden Lewis is going to be on the top of the timing tower with a 14.26. Only 100th behind him is going to be Timothy Mesimer Jr. with a 14.27. Eric Zulske in the number 35. Going to be in P3 with a 14.29. Clifford Driscoll. And wow, just the times. You don't really... Well, the times very, very close here. A lot of parity in these standings. Bentley Stewart going to be in P5. Chase Copeland in P6 with a 14.37. He's in 6th, and all the way down to 9th, Jordan McLean is only 300ths slower than him. So like I said, a whole lot of parity here tonight. The clock has struck 9. I assume practice going to be ending here pretty quickly. Unless there's a few other drivers. Yep, right on the dot. As now it's time to get into qualifying. As always, we'll go with the first car out on track, and it's going to be... It's going to be Ricky Barfield, who is out first. So the driver in the number 102. Going to try to put in his best lap possible. Looks like drivers have 3 laps here to make something happen. Around turn number 4, starting his first flying lap, Ricky Barfield. Gonna try to stay cinched in the middle. Through turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, he's gonna flare up just a little bit. It is gonna be good enough for pole, though, to be fair. First time around. Brandon Schatz is going to best him, but Ricky Barfield, second time around, is not going to be better. It's going to be a 10.5 slower onto his final lap. Can he find the pace? And he will not find it. As now we take a look at Chase Copeland on his first flying lap, I do believe. We'll see what time he puts up. It's going to be a 14.66 for him. Now let's see what he runs on the second time of asking. It's not going to be any faster. Quite frankly, it's going to be a whole lot slower at a 15 flat. Aiden Lewis sets a new pole with a 14.52. Chase Copeland's final time around. It's going to be a 14.64. It's not really going to get him any further or any closer to his goal of being up towards the top, but it is what it is. Whit Kinsley now coming out. Or I believe he has actually ran all the allotted laps. I believe we're going to start heat racing here in just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear the roar of these super late models here in Pennsylvania. As the Slinging Dirt Series race night in America lands here at Virtual Lernerville tonight, lands on your screens by way of the OuTPost Racing Network. And it's going to be one heck of a show. We had our Outlaw Street Stocks. That was a really, really fun opening show. But man, I can't wait to hear these late models. As we take a look at your grid for heat race number 1, it's going to be Aiden Lewis on pole. For Midwest Sim Sports, Timothy Mesmer Jr. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I do apologize. Part of M9 Performance. Clifford Driscoll and Chase Copeland are going to make up row number 2. Dylan Jones and Brandon Schatz making up row number 3. Nicholas McDougall and Bentley Stewart are going to be rounding out your grid. As the lights on the iRacing official pace truck are going to go out. We're set to go to war here. 8 laps. For a spot in the feature. Although I do believe everyone is going to be making it here tonight. So maybe not something to worry about, but still a whole lot of confidence can come from a good heat race. A good start to your night will pay dividends for your confidence for the entirety of this feature. Aiden Lewis is feeling a lot of pressure from Timothy Mesmer Jr. and Clifford Driscoll. Clifford Driscoll now getting quite ambitious in that number 63. He is very trustworthy. And I'm trying to figure out who it was. It was Aiden Lewis, our pole sitter. Oh no. You could see it happening in the back of the frame. In real time, here he is taking the top side through 3 and 4 and just a little slidey. Ooh, that's going to be a hard hit into the barrier. Meanwhile, back towards the front. We got a whole lot of stuff developing here. Clifford Driscoll, Timothy Mesmer Jr. Chase Copeland as well in that 110, going to be a factor in that P3 position. There is zero doubt about that. iRacing official pace truck making its way into the safety of the pits. Green flag in the air. Clifford Driscoll's going to have one heck of a launch off the line. That might guarantee his safety depending on what transpires here in the next few laps. Chase Copeland, very, very ambitious with the slider coming in through 3 and 4, but he managed to keep it out of the way of Clifford Driscoll. He has Timothy Mesmer Jr. all up in his stuff, trying to send as much pressure, send as much stress towards the way of Copeland. Maybe forcing him into a mistake, or even better, losing the position. 3 laps to go in the heat. Dylan Jones trying to hold off the fighting Brandon Schatz and Nicholas McDougall. Aiden Lewis hasn't really been able to jump the field, and with 2 laps to go, I don't think he's going to have an option. He is going to have to get it out of the consies. As white flag in the air, Clifford Driscoll leads, but Chase Copeland is on that inside. He's going to have one more shot at it. Into 3 and 4, he's going to send it. It's going to be clean. Switch back from Driscoll, but Copeland clears. Less than 0.07 of a second, just north of 6. And what a move into the final corner for Copeland there, getting that heat race victory. Oh, you can tell it's starting to, you can hear the congestion coming up. That's passion in my voice. You know the racing's getting good then. Your grid for heat race number 2, Eric Zulske in the number 35. On the inside, obviously, Derek Darnell going to be on the outside for Midwest in that number 86. Jeffrey Hyatt in the 76 here tonight, actually. He is going to be in P3 with Tyler Bickford in P4. Whit Kinsley and Ricky Barfield are in row number 3. And Jordan McLean is going to be our odd driver out, as he starts in a row by himself. That's going to be row number 4. And if you remember towards the top of the broadcast, I said something about storms are coming. They are impending. Imminent, I should say. Well, I do believe they might be here. Or at least the beginnings of them. Starting to get just a tiny bit rumbly outside. As we'll scurry back up into the spotting tower. Eric Zulske has the button. He's going to press it early. Green flag in the air for heat race number 2. Jeffrey Hyatt taking every bit of advantage as he can. Tyler Bickford looking to do the same. He is going to split the defense between Whit Kinsley and Jeffrey Hyatt. Jeffrey Hyatt is off the track. He's off the berm and into Mr. Barry R. Eric Zulske still going to lead after 2. Tyler Bickford in the exact same place he was just a tiny bit earlier in our Outlaw Street Stock feature. Jeffrey Hyatt had kind of made a mistake. Tyler Bickford takes advantage. But unfortunately for him, this time it's only a heat race, and he's only in P2. Eric Zulske is walking away from the rest of the grid like he just crop dusted him in a wing stop, because he is trying to get out of there. And boy, is he doing it. 14.80 the last time around compared to Bickford's 14.95. So absolutely hauling the mail is Eric Zulske in the number 35, 6,700 I rating. That's what happens when you've got that high of I rating. Tyler Bickford trying to put up the most worthy fight that he can. Whit Kinsley on the podium for this heat race. Very good result for him as we head towards the feature race here tonight. Whit Kinsley could easily be a girl as well. I personally have zero idea. But I did kind of make the connection. Maybe pink late model. I don't know. I don't want to assume. That's the last thing I want to do, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless. Good performance from Whit Kinsley. They finish P3. Getting on the final step of that rostrum. Tyler Bickford in P2. Now into our 5-minute warm-up before our feature race here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, going to be 75 laps. And it's going to be electric. So once again, if you need to take yourself a break, take a bathroom break, get yourself a snack, some popcorn, whatever you need to do. Because the next time you hear my voice, it's going to be feature time here in the Slinging Dirt series live on the OuTPost Racing Network. Just under 2 minutes to go until we're feature racing here at Lernerville. It's been a wonderful night of racing so far, from the Outlaw Street Stocks all the way to the hooked up super late models. Just want to give a big shout out again to RK Racing for being so generative, being so supportive to the community, to the league. Also, big shout out to just Slinging Dirt themselves, the Slinging Dirt series, the race night in America. It's been electric racing. It's been really fun to call. I hope it's been fun to watch here on the OuTPost Racing Network. We've got 3 more races after this one. Round 3, July 24th. We'll head to Cedar Lake. Round number 4, August 7th. We'll head to Volusia. Round number 5 is August 21st at Lima Land. That's going to conclude the first stage of this season, because we've got a ton of races throughout the year. I'll try to remember next race to have a mega graphic for the entirety of the calendar, because we're going to be going all the way until December 11th, ladies and gentlemen, when the SDS host their Winter Nationals at Huset's. That is going to be really, really cool. It'll be awesome to see. Warm-up finishing now, which means there is nothing more to do besides wait momentarily. The drivers getting into their super late models for our 75 lap feature race here tonight. And I think it's time for your starting grid. Chase Copeland is going to be on pole with Eric Zulske in the number 35 in P2. Clifford Driscoll, Tyler Bickford going to be in row number 2. Timothy Messimer Jr., Whit Nisley. I've been saying it wrong the entire night. I apologize about that one. P7 going to be Dylan Jones. P8 goes to the number 5 of Jordan McLean. Brandon Schatz, Mr. Schatzy, and Derek Darnell will be in row number 5. Nicholas McDougall and Ricky Barfield going to be in row number 6. We turn the page. Aiden Lewis is going to be in P13. Jeffrey Hyatt in P14. Bentley Stewart is going to round out the grid in P15. He is not going to elect to take to the track, so we've got 14 super late models here tonight ready to do work. Might I remind you of what is at stake, folks? $50 to the winner, $25 to second place, $15 gonna be going to your third place finisher. Quick Time getting $10. Hard Charger getting $10 as well. Chase Copeland out to a fantastic start as we go green for the first time here tonight. Now our main event at Lernerville. Eric Zulske on the outside of Clifford Driscoll. It's going to be more of a 1v1 between those two right now. Chase Copeland is, to be honest, of none of their concern. Eric Zulske hitting a quick crossover, looking like 06 Allen Iverson. As Tyler Bickford is going to be trying to weigh his options. He's trying to check the most viable solution here. And ripping it around the top might just seem to be it. I know the middle and the lower side of the track isn't completely worked in just yet, but these guys are finding immense pace around that outside. Eric Zulske, after having, let's be honest, an abysmal start, it's going to be even more abysmal. He is going to get into that catch fence that almost seems to jump out and grab you as you set into turn number 1. And we're going to be almost 5 wide here. I mean, these super late models are close to each other. Timothy Messimer Jr. going to have a little bit of a moment with maybe the infield tractor tire, as he got a little bit of wheel hop there on the bottom. It's 3 wide between him, Zulske, and Driscoll. And all this is lovely for Chase Copeland because he can get out and in front of these guys, and that's going to be Clifford Driscoll into the wall. He's going to be able to keep it moving. Dylan Jones with a purple lap. It's going to be a 15.11. He's fighting for his life against Eric Zulske here currently. Dylan Jones also repping a number 76, much like Jeffrey Hyatt. Zulske is making him work for it down there on the bottom. However, not going to be quite enough to stay up to speed, up to pace with Dylan Jones. Tyler Bickford has now gotten around Chase Copeland. That is for the lead. Chase maybe wanting to take it easy just a tiny bit. It seems his pace is nowhere near what it just was, and definitely seems like a choice rather than fate. Tyler Bickford now starting to get a little more courteous on that gas pedal coming out of turn number 4. We saw it in the heat. He was messing up that exit a fair few amount of times. Didn't entirely get to hear it there, but he's definitely letting off that throttle just a little bit more. He's rolling into it just a tiny bit slower. Trying to get set up properly for that really fast and aggressive set into turn number 1. He loves to just kind of shove it to the middle of that wall into turn 1, and he lets the wash kind of carry his car up the track. I mean, it's wonderful. He's so quick in doing that, but right now Dylan Jones is going to be our quick man. 59 laps to go, and he is out in front, and it's a 7/10 of a second lead. Whit Nisley in the number 46, fighting for P7. That's going to be against Brandon Schatz. Maybe a little bit of an ill-advised tail whip there. We're getting a little Pikachu-esque out here. All is good, though. We continue, and drivers are trending upward. A lot of these drivers here tonight electing to use this top line, electing to use this top side. Try their best to get the work done as needed. Dylan Jones in the 32 still going to be out in front. It's going to be a 1-second lead for him over the 110 of Chase Copeland, who has Tyler Bickford in a very, very peculiar position. Because Eric Zulske, we know how fast, how rapid he has been here tonight in these hooked up super late models. So Tyler Bickford's got that behind him. But then he's also got Chase he has to get around. And we have a yellow, almost perfect timing. It's going to be Ricky Barfield. We'll check out what has happened to him. Oh, no, and then stopping it out on the track. Got it back into the pits quick, though, so good on him. That is going to be our first caution of the night. 23 laps in. Aiden Lewis is up 3 positions in that number 55. But it's still going to be an unfortunate 10th place for him. He's got a lot of time to crawl back, though. He's got a lot of time to get this flipped in a positive direction rather than a negative. Even though he is up 3 spots, it's still... P10 is not where Aiden Lewis wants nor needs to be. As drivers are going to box things back up here, we will go 2 by 2 up in the OuTPost Racing blimp. You can get a look at how all these drivers start the race. It's going to be aggression and using that elevation to propel him forward, using that inertia. Dylan Jones, excellent start there, and it's going to pay dividends riding the top line. Dylan Jones is absolutely rapid right now. What an incredible job from him, as well as Eric Zulske. That one almost made me get red-faced. I thought something was gonna happen big time between all 4 of those cars that were in that proximity. Drivers able to hedge things out. And all is well. Dylan Jones still leads, 48 laps to go. Now it's going to seem like an eternity for the number 32. That I have no doubt about. Jordan McLean now trying to fight Eric Zulske. Jordan McLean now looking to make a move. He's very tempted. He's very drawn to the idea of being aggressive in this stage of the race. The body language of the car supports that, but unfortunately, he just can't get it done on the exit side of the corners to be able to match their momentum. He uses the speed to get out in front. He sets the car later in the corners. But then when it's time to exit and go down the straights, he unfortunately just isn't really keeping the same momentum that they are. And this might result in Jordan McLean going backwards. Tyler Bickford and Eric Zulske now. They were having a big fight. Going to be a big moment from Zulske in the number 35. Going to give the advantage. And just a little bit of breathing room to Tyler Bickford. Jordan McLean having a little bit of a Tony Hawk's pro skater. He was grinding on the rail there, the dirt rail that is the berm here at Lernerville. Clifford Driscoll now down 6 spots into P9, and he almost lost that out to Brandon Schatz, and oh no, it's going to be Dylan Jones. What has happened to our leader? Into turns 3 and 4. It can't be, but it is. So gotta be a heartbreak of a moment for our friend in the 32, Dylan Jones. Having an absolute monumental night here so far. As we turn our attention to the new leader of the race, gonna be the 110, representing Midwest Sim Sports, Chase Copeland. And he will have a ton of fight in these drivers. I have no doubt about that. But now with Jones out, the field is kind of wide open. You don't really know who has the advantage or not. iRacing pace truck going to make its way into the safety of the pits. We are green here again at Lernerville. Remember, $50 to win. Hard chargers getting paid. Quick times getting paid. And Chase Copeland is loving life around the top side of this Lernerville Speedway. Or Raceway, whatever. I always get the raceways and speedways mixed up. However, Eric Zulske struggling big time. Down there on the bottom, got an immense amount of wheel hop. That led to 1, if not 2 overtakes. It's going to compound into 2, maybe 3. And oh no, we've got the 46 off. It's going to be Wynton Nisley. Stayed on 4 tires though, back onto the racetrack. Well done. Now we look forward back towards Eric Zulske. He unfortunately has been a bit of a walking time bomb. And as I say that, Jordan McLean is going to have a meeting with Barry R. But we are going to stay green. There's the thunder shaking the house. 34 laps to go. Hopefully I'm not in a race against Mother Nature. Although that storm is coming in and it is coming in fast. However, the same could be said about Tyler Bickford in that 07. 33 laps to go here at Lernerville. As round number 2 of the Slingin Dirt Series race night in America takes hold to a conclusion. Hardest charger is currently sitting at Jeffrey Hyatt, up 10 spots, I should say. I apologize. Into 4th place. He started this race in P14. Aiden Lewis is in 2nd place when it comes to that regard, with 6 positions gained, I should say. I apologize. If he can keep that position over Timothy Mesimer Jr., it will be 7. Now things starting to get a little spicy because now it's a matter of who finishes. I believe the math would work out to where whoever finishes better between Jeffrey Hyatt and Aiden Lewis is going to get that hardest charger award. And if we look at Clifford Driscoll, he has been kind of just making it around the top. It's been a really quiet race for him so far as we head into 27 laps to go. He just seems to be on a different wavelength from everyone. He hasn't really been put through the ringer too many times. Jeffrey Hyatt now chasing down Aiden Lewis. It's going to be the 76 versus the 55. Tyler Bickford has now retaken the lead, and I believe it was a big error out of Chase Copeland. We'll have to go back and look. Into turns number 3 and 4. Yeah, Chase is going to get off the racing surface there. Well, not off the racing surface, but off the track. And he is going to be kicking himself for that one. That's going to drop him down 2 spots into P3. And now with 23 laps to go, He has got to fight, and he'd much rather be defending. His teammate Shotzi doing a fantastic job here tonight at Lernerville. As it got a little chippy there between him and Nicholas McDougal. It looks like it might be heading in that direction again. This is going to be for P8, Jeffrey Hyatt, and Aiden Lewis. Jeffrey Hyatt has somehow bent it. And he now sits behind Aiden Lewis. Those two are tied for the hardest charger award. Both currently up 8 positions. So that's going to be a really funny thing to decide. Tyler Bickford now under immense pressure from Eric Zulske as they head around turn number 4. Only 18 laps to go here in our main event of the Hooked Up Super Late Models racing for Race Night in America, brought to you by the Slingin Dirt Series. Here on the OuTPost Racing Network, we're going to have another yellow. It's going to be our 3rd caution of the evening. It looks like this one might go to the Reedland driver, Chase Copeland, as he is going to fall off again, and, well, he kind of has to stop. He doesn't want to get impaled when he comes back out on the track, and he doesn't want to make anybody else impale him, so. Fair yellow, the car was stopped on the track. So we'll be bunching things back up, and Chase Copeland is now going to be down in the 11th spot. But still time to get something done. Because you know these two are going to be at the helm. They're going to be fighting. They love doing it. Tyler Bickford and Eric Zulske, they have been going at each other's throats all night, and I cannot imagine that it will be stopping anytime soon. Tyler Bickford in the 07, 14 laps to go. Here at Lernerville iRacing official pace truck lights are still going to be on. Therefore, we'll take one more trip around the track. I'm sorry for the lapse in audio, guys. I'm just trying to make sure. Trying to make sure this weather isn't anything too bad, but really, though, the amount of pop-up storms we have been getting, I think it's actually dissipating before it even starts, so that is a very, very good sign. Should mean we can continue with no problems. Tyler Bickford out and away very, very quick, like he is going to get a big jump on the rest of that field. Here comes Zulske, and here comes Hyatt. Now firmly in that hardest charger spot. Laps going to go official. Jeffrey Hyatt has squeezed into that P2 spot, and look at Aiden Lewis right there behind him. As I didn't realize it, but I think it was the 35 of Zulske who had a moment here, as he is just going to fall off the berm. So unfortunate. As now drivers are going to stack it back up. They're going to box up, cube up, however you want to call it, stack up. 13 laps to go, meaning we should still be in a double file atmosphere here for our race restart. There's a whole lot of strategies the leader can play here. Does he go early, try to build that gap? Does he try to get into the mines and hold everyone up in hopes they make a race-ending mistake? You don't really know, but Tyler Bickford, I'm sure he's got something thought out in his head. I'm sure he's got a strategy for how he's going to get things done here tonight. 12 laps to go. We are green from Lernerville once again. I take it back. It's going to actually be 14 laps to go. Slider attempt from Clifford Driscoll is going to spell nothing but defeat for him as Jeffrey Hyatt is on the bounce back. He's got the high side and he is chasing down our leader. Clifford Driscoll in the number 63 in P3, trying to make things right, trying to get up under the 76 of Jeffrey Hyatt, but it's going to be to no avail. Currently, Jeffrey Hyatt is the ruler of that top line kingdom. Tyler Bickford trying his best to stay in front. More importantly, trying his best to win this race. It's $50 to the winner. And that's going to be a yellow flag out again. It's going to be Jordan McLean this time, who has had a little bit of a crash. We'll go back and take a look into turns. Oh, no. That's one I got to see again for sure. Yeah, that's tough. Just that little bit of contact just threw the car off just enough to disrupt him and his plans. Tyler Bickford now in the 07. Set to take us away again this time around, I believe. I think the lights are out on that pace truck. And it's actually, no, we're going to stack them up. It is going to be double file restart, but we will be going single file. Pretty sure we'll be taking it 9 to go. Once we grab the green here from our good friend Barney the Flagman. Tyler Bickford's got to get deep in the page of strats for his starting. He's had to do it so many times here tonight. You want to throw something the opponent might not expect. It's going to be a slider to Hyatt from Driscoll. Not going to work. Hyatt retakes that position with a slider of his own. Jeffrey Hyatt firmly in that hard charger position. But if Aiden Lewis were to finish in P2 with Jeffrey Hyatt in P3, it'd be a tie at 11. I don't know who it'd go to. I would assume the better position. But now here's Jeffrey Hyatt trying to battle with the leader, Tyler Bickford. Going to be 7 laps to go here at Lernerville. You cannot sleep on Derek Darnell, though. He looked to have a really good run heading out of turn number 1 and 2, but I guess he might have had to kill it due to maybe traffic in front. Things were were looking really good for that number 86 car, however. Sad to see it fizzle out like that. Tyler Bickford still holding on to the lead. 5 laps to go here in round number 2 of the Slinging Dirt Series. It's race night in America. Because unfortunately, it's not going to be soccer night for at least another 4 years. USA, with the downright just terrible performance against Belgium in the World Cup round of 16. As, oh no, we're going to see Clifford Driscoll fall off the racetrack. He is going to try to recover it. He's going to try to find a spot where he can join the racetrack safely. He can. Tyler Bickford now sits in a world alone. 2 laps to go. Coming around turns 3 and 4. Tyler Bickford takes the white flag. All it takes is one more revolution around Lernerville Speedway. That's all you gotta do, Bickford. Can you give it to us? Yes, he can. Tyler Bickford is gonna get paid $50. He wins here at Lernerville. Jeffrey Hyatt in P2. Coming home with $25. Aiden Lewis in P3. That's going to be a $15 payday. But on top of Jeffrey Hyatt's payday, he's going to get an extra 10 for the Hard Charger Award. Now, quick time. I don't know if quick time means pole sitter or if it means the fastest lap of the feature. Because if it's the fastest lap of the feature, then we're gonna have to get some more decimal places out, because it's gonna be a tie between Bickford and Whit Nisley. So as we get a good look at the 07 of Tyler Bickford there, he is going to complete the double here tonight. He won the street stock race. He said it didn't give him very much confidence. We'll talk to him here in a minute, but first I want to drag up our 3rd place finisher on the bottom step of that rostrum. It's going to be Aiden Lewis in the number 55, up 10 spots from P13 to P3. How did it feel?
Oh man, it was a stressful one, that's for sure. It was fun though, coming from the back. I don't know, I threw it away in the heat race, dude. I went off in turn 4. That was 100% my bad on that one. So
yeah, unfortunately I noticed that, and it just seemed like you kind of got in your own way a lot here tonight. Is that kind of how you would sum it up? I feel like it's one of those races you can't really hang your head on, because at the end of the day, it wasn't really anybody else beating you. It was kind of you beating yourself. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, 100%. Like, dang, like 25, 30 laps left in the feature, I ended up getting wheel damage on the front stretch wall somehow, which dang, instantly just killed me somehow. So, but I was really fast until up to that point, but I was just trying to salvage what I could get right there at the end, because I knew I wasn't really going to catch first place. So
yeah, it's a beautiful and a bloody game out there, but it looked like a whole lot of fun. You're going to finish in P3. You're going to be paid here tonight. You finished in the money. Is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
oh yeah, dude, Midwest Sports. I'm using what they give me and just insanely fast stuff. They help me a lot, teach me just anything under the weather, really. So, and then CFM setups, they gave us a lot of stuff to build off of, and like basically just what tweak on to what we like. And then Aces and Ace Designs for my new wrap. I love it. Very, very beautiful. And you for broadcasting, and everybody for the good race.
Well, we appreciate the kind words there from you, Mr. Lewis, and we hope to see you back here in the booth. Not next week, but the week after, we head to Cedar Lake. Hopefully we see you there. It's going to be your P3 finisher here tonight, the number 55 of Aiden Lewis.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
And that is going to be our third place interview. But now I'd like to get a word from our second place finisher, which he was in the waiting room. He is now not in the waiting room. But I'm gonna drag him anyway. And it's gonna be your second place finisher in that number 76 now. Not 66, but it's gonna be the 76 for Jeffrey Hyatt. But you are not only gonna get paid because you finished in second place, you're also going to be the hard charger with 12 positions gained here tonight. Jeffrey Hyatt, how's it feel?
Honestly, I wish I would have got first, to be honest with you. Kind of felt like I could have won both deals. Yeah, the street stocks, yeah, I don't know. I kind of messed my whole night up, to be honest. I was shifting, and all of a sudden on the last restart right there, the car just missed a shift for some odd reason. Hadn't been doing it the whole night. But yeah, it kind of messed me up. Then I got going into supers and felt really good. And I should have slid Bicky because Bicky was kind of struggling a little bit. I think if I would have slid him and got clear, I probably could have pulled away. It just took me a couple laps to get going.
Yeah, without a doubt, but you weathered the storm through the first half, it seems like you always do. Some sort of just chaos or calamity that it seems like you're having to drive around. And even though you still, I would say willingly put yourself through that by, saving the tires, saving yourself in the beginning, do you still feel like it's worth it? Do you feel like you like the decision or hate the decision more times than the other when you really sit back and you take that methodical front and put yourself in a better spot towards the end?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it kind of hurts me more than it helps me. But it's just like for some reason, once we go green in a feature, I just can't get going to start off. I don't know if it's the way, like I'm starting to get better with setups and stuff now. So I'm kind of tinkering and got a feel for what I've liked here recently. So I've gotten better at kind of pacing myself through a long race. I don't know. I still think it hurts me though more. I mean, if it pays off, usually it really pays off pretty good for me though.
Yeah, without a doubt. And yeah, it's one of those yin and yang things. There's such a clear advantage, but then there's the obvious glaring disadvantages. So you got to weigh it each and every night. I mean, that's just one of the things that goes in to every bit of strategy that you have to have every single night when you pull up to the racetrack. But enough of that. You finished here in second. You're getting a double slice of that payment pie. Is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Midwest Sim Sports, like always, CFM. Appreciate Darnell for doing this, what he's doing, trying to give us a little bit of money to race for every other Friday. And appreciate you for streaming all that stuff. Kind of enjoy it, going back and watching it and stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate the kind words from you. Hope to see you back here in the booth, round number 3 and beyond, here for the Slingin Dirt Series of Race Night in America. Your P2 finisher here tonight in the super late models, Jeffrey Hyatt. And our final interview of the night is going to go to our back-to-back winner here tonight at Lernerville. Hey, man, you said it didn't give you any confidence, but I was reading confidence all night out there.
I'm not too sure. I think it was more luck than confidence, but I'll take it regardless, man.
Hey, yeah, I mean, you were quick. You were absolutely rapid. And not only that, but it seemed like you just never really took your foot off the gas pedal. It seemed like for these other drivers, there were a couple times there where, maybe they got a little complacent. Maybe they got a little slow off the roll of that throttle, but it seemed like you were on the mission. You were on point every single corner here tonight. And did you feel that locked in, or did it just feel like every other night?
Honestly, nah, I felt horrible. Crazy to say, I know. I got wheel damage pretty early on. There's like a bump on the front stretch, and if you hit it just right, you get rear damage in the rear, and it was just a struggle keeping the car on the track. So I was just trying to stay consistent, be as smooth as I could, and it just happened to work out.
Yeah, without a doubt, it did indeed work out. You're going to be going home paid here tonight on behalf of the Street Stock and the Super Late Model Series. And, you got to do it in the first race, but once again, man, the floor is yours. Who do you want to thank for the performance here tonight? It was one hell of a performance.
You for the broadcast. Slingin Dirt for putting this deal on. Get more people to sign up. It's great racing. Gotta thank Midwest Sim Sports, CFM, Aces and Nate Designs for this beautiful wrap, and anybody else, man. They know who they are. Appreciate everyone.
Yes, sir. That's going to be your double feature winner here tonight at Lernerville. It's going to be Tyler Bickford in the 07. He claimed victory in the Outlaw Street Stocks. He also got it done in the hooked up Super Late Models. And what a performance from him here tonight. Absolutely stealing the show. The crowd is on their feet. Look at them. But that is going to do it for the coverage of the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America here tonight at Lernerville. From everybody at the SDS and from the OuTPost Racing Network, we appreciate you guys spending your Friday night with us. Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes. Remember, you can check back not next Friday, but the Friday after. It'll be July 24th. We head to Cedar Lake to do it all over again. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.